doctors have consulted me for their own diabetes or weight loss. So I think it is 2024. We have a lot of studies with us, which shows that low carb is beneficial. And now low carb is seen as a fat diet. So it is so foolish to call. You know what? These YOLO are like those people who are spending credit cards and they are not paying it on time. And one day they are going to pay that credit card with a lot of people end up with a lot of complications. In our country, people believe only doctors. They will not know the doctors could do anything.
We are just going to telling the audience about our illustrious career. Meet Shashi, India's most certified low-carb nutrition and metabolic health coach, with 5 years of experience in pharma, and with personal experience in reversing his own type 2 diabetes without medication. Shashi has dedicated his life to helping us to manage their own diabetes, and Shashi is the founder of the co-founder of Metabolic Health Conference along with Anup Singh. Shashi coaches clients across 15 plus countries and brings his extensive knowledge of low-carb and keto. Shashi is also prolific on X, the platform, and his long-term followers gain a lot from reading the science studies and insight analysis that he posts very regularly. He has been in his own life for nearly a decade now, entirely pill-free. And a little bird also told us that today exactly marks Shashi's 2nd anniversary as a full-time metabolic health, having left behind his 3.5 pharma career exactly 2 years ago this day. So delighted to have you, Shashi. Let us dive right in to hear your inspiring story and knowledge so that we may all gain some insights into how we build a sustainable low-carb lifestyle. Over to you. Please walk.
Thank you.
When you were actually diagnosed with diabetes, your process, and what's your first plan of action when you got your diagnosis?
Yeah. So I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It was incidentally. So I was working in pharma. Then it was on a business trip to Indore, and I had a nice hearty meal with full of jalebis and all at the hotel. And while I was visiting a doctor, one of the doctors in the professional visit, so my own company Abbott was doing what is called as diabetes scans. So I just got mine tested, and my blood sugar postprandial came to something like 160 or so after 4 hours. Now 160 after 4 hours is not a good sign, and I knew immediately there is an issue. So I came back home. This was on a Thursday. I came back home on Sunday and got my fasting and PP done. I found it to be sky high, 252 postprandial and around 150 fasting. And I went to my general practitioner. He told me, you get your thyroids and HbA1c done. So HbA1c was 7.2, thyroid was absolutely normal. So what to do? I was given metformin once a day. Then I thought I'll consult an endocrinologist whom I knew. I went to him, and as usual, I was prescribed the low-fat, low-salt diet, and I was asked to increase the metformin to 2 tablets a day. So that's it, the standard one. And I was not satisfied because I knew that if the diabetes treatment starts with 1 or 2 tablets, and within a decade or so, people reach 4 or 5 pills, and they stay mostly uncontrolled. So this is something which I knew through experience because I was working in pharma. I was working in diabetes and cardiovascular segment for 3 decades. I know I'm going to be burdened with a lot of pills and complication coming times. So I went to internet and I started searching a lot of stuff on how to cure diabetes. That was the one. So whether they were Ayurvedic or homeopathic, any other thing, herbal stuff, vitamins, what can cure. So while searching, I came across a forum where Anup Singh, we all know who Anup Singh is. He's the founder of D-Life, India's oldest and largest low-carb community. So I found him propagating LCHF. So I found it very intriguing. What is LCHF? Low-carb, high-fat diet. So he was telling that low-carb, high-fat diet is the way to go for diabetes management without pills. So I was very, very curious as to what it is. So being a typical pharma guy, I knew the methodology of prescriptions. What will start? It will start with metformin and then go to other drugs, maybe gliptins, SGLT2 inhibitors, sulfonylureas, all those Voglibos, and finally insulin. So I found this very intriguing and curious, and then I found Anup in one more uh, forum where again he was promoting low carb, high fat diet. Now, during that time in internet, he was the only person I could find. There was no other person. See, there may have been some people promoting low carb. I don't know. But when I took to Google, he was the only one. So immediately I joined D-Life in October 2016. I was diagnosed in September 2015. In October 2016 itself, I joined D-Life. From there, I learned about low carb, and Anup Singh and Arun Kumar. There were other guys also who are not so active now. So they were helping me on, how to formulate a low carb diet. And then I started doing that. And within the fourth month, the HbA1c dropped from 7.2 to 5.2. So I was still on one tablet of metformin. And then as we proceeded, we started learning how to do low carb properly by increasing the protein and all. And gradually I came off pill. I did take metformin for some time, one tablet. From two tablets I came to one tablet. Maybe a couple of years I took at night just as a coverage. In fact, my HbA1c was as low as 4.7, 4.8 for quite a long time. So now it averages around 5.2 max. And this is 9 years. I have completed 9 years of low carb. And I will always say that, diabetes changed my life. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I've had the diagnosis of being pre-diabetic about 10 years ago, and it put me on a track of I wouldn't call it carb as what you're practicing, but a certain template that I learned to live my life by. That I feel glad diagnosed pre-diabetic rather than some other complication that helped me to just navigate it with diet and be confident that I could I get what for that. I mean, and it's when that you're vegetarian, that we know eggs, and personally that and to be vegetarian and to also be keto must take a lot of imagination. Can you tell us about how you were able to navigate your vegetarian diet in this context?
So I started with a vegetarian diet. In fact, when initially I was diagnosed with diabetes, I felt very sad because I'm going to miss my favorite fatty food like cheese, because that was always my favorite. In my fridge, you'll always find a few different variations of cheese. So once I came to know about LCHF, I was so happy that I could eat all this stuff without giving it away. Probably except the sugary stuff. Of course, I was fond of all sweets. I gave it up. And then what happens is, as we progressed, we realized the importance of protein, and then I started adding eggs. So I'm a lacto-vegetarian, right? I eat a lot of eggs. Maybe I started with 4. I started with 2 per day, and then graduated to 4, 6, 8. So depending, and now it could be anywhere between 4 to 6 to 8 is what I take in a day. So totally depends upon my appetite, my mood on that day. So I started with a low carb diet of around 100 grams, then proceeded to do a ketogenic diet. The reason why I did was I wanted to experiment with ketogenic and see how it is. So at the time of diagnosis of diabetes, I also was having diagnosed with a lot of bone and joint disorder, osteoarthritis in left knee, tendinitis in right knee, and cervical spondylitis. I always had frozen shoulder, but I always never realized what it is. I always thought it's some sprain. So a lot of bone and joint issue. As I went into keto, everything got resolved. In the sense, it is not disappeared. I don't have they are all there, but I don't have the pain. So they're all well controlled. And as I kept doing it, I suddenly found that my tinnitus started lowering. So tinnitus is something which no one could do anything in the past. None of the ENT surgeons, none of the doctors could do anything except giving vitamin pills and doing this and that. Nothing happened. So when I started doing this, the intensity came down. So the tinnitus intensity is only around, let us say, only 15-20. It is still there. It is 15-20% of what it was, and I can live with this. Earlier it was very difficult. So it is like yesterday Anup Singh told that his tinnitus got resolved. Even for me, it got resolved almost. So not only that, even the central obesity went away, and a lot of other problems like GERD, acidity, everything went away. Sleepiness after meal, feeling of tiredness when you get up in the morning, everything just disappeared. Also, a lot of GI disturbance got corrected, and a lot of bone and joint disturbance, bone and joint issues got corrected automatically. So it is not only diabetes, but the whole outlook. Then what I did was, and then somewhere, 2017 and all, Anup was telling me that you should be a health coach and all. So that time I was very skeptical. I didn't have anything. So I just kept on doing my work. And then when we launched, when Anup launched D-Life Diploma in 2020, immediately I got it done. And there started my certification journey. So not only this, I have a host of other certifications which I do, and that's why I have number of certifications which I have is a lot compared to anyone in India. And then one fine day, I thought that it's time that and during this period, in this many years, I was helping many of my close friends and relatives. So we have a lot of success story which are posted in DLI forum also. That I have helped a lot of people get off medicine, insulin, and various other success like coming off 4 BP medication, 4 or 5 blood pressure medications also. So one fine day, I thought, okay, why not I take a risk, and then I just gave a 3-month notice to my job, and I thought I'll go independent. And then I went independent, and coincidentally, the last day of my career was today, 2 years back, 14 November, which will always remember in my memory because it is World Diabetes Day. So from tomorrow, I'm completing this 2 years. A lot of historic things happened. In fact, I gave my resignation on 16th August, the very next day of Freedom Independence Day. So everything just worked out this way. So that, and then from that time, I'm doing well, and I'm happy that I left that pharma job. Though it was nothing wrong, but I left the pharma job, but the pharma job gave me a lot of knowledge on medicines, especially in the cardiovascular and diabetes segment, because I have launched many of these molecules which today people are taking, and now from selling medicines to helping people get off medicines is what I do now.
So given your family, that one side you were in pharmacy and on the reverse electronic medication, some of the insights that you from the pharma world that regular people like us should have this work.
You have to repeat again. Please repeat. Voice is cracking.
I was asking about the insights from your very specific pharma knowledge, the insights in especially the world of chronic disease, which is your world today, to reverse their chronic conditions. So what are
So what happens is, see, let us understand that the treatment of diabetes consists of 2 things. Okay. People say that you have to do diet and exercise, but no one really knows what to do and what exercise to do. At the most, people will start walking, that's all. And then people might reverse it a bit, but it is not long term. The thing is, everyone thinks that what we have to do is start medication and then take 6 to 8 meals a day. The typical 6 to 8 meal, which is so foolishly done today. And people think the 6 to 8 meal works. And then host of medication. You go for anything, you will be given medication. You go with diabetes, metformin. Okay, after 2 years, 2 tablets of metformin. Another 1 year, add sitagliptin or vildagliptin. Another SGLT2 inhibitor. So by 10 years, you're going to end up with 10 pills. I have a lot of my colleagues from my pharma who comes back to me now, and they say that they are taking host of medication, including insulin, which I never knew that they were on earlier. People were hiding it, but now they're telling it. So I knew that, see, I was involved in diabetes detection camp. I have launched a lot of anti-diabetics in market, like glimepiride and all, metformin and all. So I know what kind of market it is. And I know that people end up with a lot of complication. I have seen it in my close family, friends and all. So I did not want to end up like this. So that is why I was searching for a solution. And I found this LCHF, which Anup Singh was promoting, it seems to have a lot of logic. And why it had a lot of logic, I'll tell you, because I did not take his word for it. I went and researched, and I found that in the pre-insulin era, this was what was advocated. So whether it was starting from John Rollo or Frederick Pavey or even Jocelyn, they were all advocating carbohydrate restricted diet. But with the advent of insulin and oral hypoglycemics, everyone started forgetting about low carb. And now low carb is seen as a fat diet. So it is so foolish to call as a fad diet, something which was used for more than 400 years. Now people are calling as a fad diet. So that's why I say that any dietitian who says that low carb is a fad diet is a totally ignorant one who doesn't know the history. So I think it is 2024. We have a lot of studies with us, lot of studies which shows that low carb is beneficial. ADA 2018 also recommended low carb in their MNT, medical nutrition treatment. Diabetes Canada also. Diabetes Australia has included low carb diet as in the best practices. So we have the Verta study now, one of the largest study for many years. So it is beyond doubt. And then let us understand one thing, that in India today, the biggest disease segment is not infection, it is cardiovascular. It appears that diabetes is affecting us in the cardiovascular way more than anything else. Now, as per the ICMR and Lancet study, India is having more than 100 million diabetics and 136 million pre-diabetic. This is only estimated, or there are a lot of undiagnosed people moving around. It appears that in India, diabetes is affecting us in the cardiovascular front. And that is why we have the highest number of cardiovascular disease, and the medication selling are stupendous. So whether it is cardiovascular or diabetes, the amount of medicine which is totally stupendous, and people are burdened by it. Earlier, I recall when I was small, if someone goes to doctor, they will be prescribed glibenclamide and one sulfonylurea. They will take for 2 decades, and then they will come to metformin 3 decades. I have seen my father having diabetes when he was quite young, and he was only on 1 or 2 tablets for 3 decades. Now in 3 decades, in 1 decade, people reach 10 to 15 medication. It is so pathetic and so bad. The way the disease manages, it is very poor. And people who manage diabetes have absolutely no knowledge of how to manage diabetes. I am very harsh on this, sorry to say. And I can tell this very boldly because of 2 years, I'm seeing the kind of prescription, I'm seeing the kind of blood sugar report which people come back to me. It is pathetic. People don't know how to manage diabetes. Low carb is the only way to go.
So it sounds to me like the combination of the high carb diet, the research and the scholars that go into developing new kinds of formulations of drugs together is playing a part in the increasing number of prescriptions that are available. It's like to me.
See, 3 decades back, there was only sulfonylurea, metformin, maybe acarbose, that's all. Now we have plenty of drugs available. With availability of plenty of drugs, the condition is only worsening. There were only 1 or 2 type or 3 type of insulin. Now we have 10 or 20 type of insulin. Newer drugs like GLP-1 analogs are also available. Nothing is going to work unless you address the root cause. See, let me tell you, treatment of diabetes is something like, let me compare, seeing a white ant on a wall. Okay, you're going to see white ant on a wall. What you should do, what people do now, they just brush paint over it. It again resurfaces somewhere, again some cement or paint is rubbed on it, and one day the entire wall collapses. What we should be doing is we should be exterminating it the moment we see. And this will happen only if you eliminate carbohydrates. Now it is well known that carbohydrates has the highest blood sugar raising property. Protein comes next and fat comes next. These have very lower properties, but carbohydrates have the highest property. If you remove carbohydrates or lower it to a significant extent, your blood sugar will come under control. There are few things you can do. Your blood sugar will improve. You can cut down the medication, or you can achieve total remission. Now, unfortunately or fortunately now, diabetes remission is a big thing now. Now, mainstream is still to accept. The definition is there in the ADA website and all. But if you see, most of us are still scared about, we are very skeptical. Day in and out, we see a lot of people writing articles against diabetes remission. Yeah. The people who write this article on diabetes remission, let me tell you, they don't have experience in putting one single person under diabetes remission. It is like a person who never learned how to swim. He is going to conduct a swimming classes. How he can do? It is so foolish. A person who never swam, he is conducting swimming classes. So this is how we see the articles. Articles are so foolish. They should be asking someone like Anup Singh, who's been involved in diabetes remission for so long. So Anup Singh is under diabetes remission 14 years. Arun Kumar 12 years, and me 9 years. We are under diabetes remission. We don't take medication at all. Okay, I took metformin for some time. I gave off. Anup Singh never took metformin also. He may have taken once and then spat it out. Arun Kumar was taking glimepiride for quite a long time. 20 years of diabetes. And then he came off everything by adopting a low carb and then keto, and then now he's also carnivore. After 9 years, let me tell you, all my parameters are excellent. My kidney function is excellent, liver function is excellent, cholesterol is good, my thyroids are good. In fact, I did CT calcium score also. I did 0 after 9 years.
Right. So, Shashi, how going off carbs is the most sustainable. Now, in our country today, which is so carb heavy, right? Everyone has an opinion on carbs. The moment you say you have to cut carbs, people have an opinion because it's really quite comforting, right? And it's a central part of the meal, so to speak. Or the aloo, and then comes everything else around it. The other main nutrients are actually the side dishes in our culture. So, what will you say that carbs are important for energy? Because that's what we've been taught in school as well. The food pyramid that we are all taught is that carbs provide energy. They are the staple food of mankind. So how do I, if I encounter such a sentence that carbs are important, what should I say?
See, carbohydrate and fat are energy. No one can deny this. Whatever we may taught in school may not be correct. We have to see the medical textbook. If you see there, carbohydrates are mentioned as a non-essential nutrient. Humans are like hybrid cars. Car can run either on diesel or on gas. Similarly, humans can run on carbohydrates and or fat. Now, diesel is polluting. Carbohydrate is also polluting. It will raise your blood sugar. Fat does not pollute. Similarly, gas does not pollute. This is how we have to look after this. This is how you can have a rebuttal on this. Textbooks have proven that carbohydrates are non-essential nutrient. You can derive energy out of fat either via beta oxidation or by generation of ketones, and that's what I do. I'm on a low-carb ketogenic diet for so long, for 9 years. What happened to me? On the contrary, average Indian's plate is 80-90% grains, and they are deficient in iron, deficient in B12, deficient in folate. Pregnant women are deficient in folate, iron, B12. Why? And they are eating tons of carbohydrates. So all these are all mythology. If you want to change your life, you have to change your diet. Otherwise, let people suffer taking the medication. And on an average, the people who come to us coaches, we see them having tons of medications. And they are bloody tired of taking all these medicines. And that too with HbA1c of 10. Earlier, there was only anti-diabetic which were prescribed. Now they prescribe vitamins, now they will prescribe statin, now they will prescribe antiplatelet drugs also. Sometimes I don't know why they are prescribed clopidogrel and all. Antiplatelet, clopidogrel, why? There is no reason they should have been prescribed. So this is how it goes on.
So, the gas and the fuel analogy was actually excellent. It shows the body can run on two kinds of fuels. Carbs is prepared as an easy route out, I could say. That body takes a short path to energy, therefore it derives from energy from carbs. But if you were to take away carbs, the body works harder and therefore utilizes as a fuel and therefore sustains longer term. That's what takes away from this. Thank you for that. I have an audience question here. If a complete reversal is possible by following this lifestyle, person who comes from a family whose parents were long-term and controlled diabetic, is that possible as we could?
See, what happens if someone is long-term diabetic, we really don't know the insulin secretion capacity, whether they still have it. What the degree of insulin resistance secretion, we don't know. We have to only attempt by going low carb. So we have seen in case of Arun Kumar, who was at 2 decades of diabetes. So he came off pills. Similarly, I have a lot of clients who are I have one doctor client with me from UAE who had a diabetes history of 26 years. So he was on multiple tablets. He now came down to only metformin. So it is Maybe he is not completely off medication, but he is off GLP-1 analogs, he is off sulfonylurea, he is off SGLT2, he is off DPP-4, he is only on metformin. So that itself is as good as remission. In fact, many of the international communities, they consider metformin as a supplement, not even as a pharma drug. So he came off everything and achieving a better HbA1c with only metformin compared to all that he was taking. So it is possible. They have to try. In some cases, they can improve the control. In some cases, they can halve the medication. And in some cases, they can come to as low as metformin. And in some cases, they can just completely get off the medication in a phased manner. We don't recommend anyone stopping all the tablets. No. Start low carb and then keep titrating the carbohydrates. You start with 100 gram, as Anup Singh says, and then you can keep titrating. If the person can go as less as 30, it is good. And even if they do carnivore, if it is possible, if they are non-veg, they can do, because we have a lot of success stories on that aspect also. So it is totally the individual's choice. It is not easy to do, but it is possible.
The individual needs to design their meal in such a way that it's beneficial for them to kind of reverse their chronic condition. What is a vegetarian? Like, there are some people in India, in some communities, who don't even eat eggs, right? And adapt this lifestyle that are bound by certain cultural norms that prevent them from eating eggs. So, okay, someone who is that kind of vegetarian, what would the best option? Like, how would they?
Yeah.
Not to ask you about the diet, but how would they approach full protein and low carb diet version?
Yeah, see, these people, they can have dairy proteins, they can have yogurt, they can have paneer. So I always say that paneer is my rice. Paneer is my new rice. And like on the other analogy is omelette is my roti. So they can use a lot of paneer, they can use cheese, they can use yogurt, and a lot of non-starchy vegetables, nuts, seeds also they can use. They can use sprouts and all, which is low carb. They can go ahead and have a lot of Indian dishes can be prepared with sprouts. And then we have to enrich with sprouts. Sprouts are not very good in protein. They are just fibers. But then they are fillers, okay. But then you can enrich with some protein. This protein can come from paneer. Those sprouts, they can make dosa, they can make idlis. A lot of dish can be actually had with this. And nowadays we can even make rotis with almond flour, coconut flour, and a lot of these stuffs are also available. So if person is determined, he or she can do anything they want. But if they keep looking for excuses, then they will not achieve anything. So that's why I tell all my clients that doing low carb is not easy. You require a lot of determination. If he's ready to do, then he can join me and we can win the race. So the person has to be determined. Their desire to be healthy has to be more than the desire to eat carbohydrates.
So that brings me to the question of when they Chalega, I only live once. I'll manage this with a I'll eat a medicine. I'll manage this. So when I want you to talk to them about what it means to live on a lifestyle versus lifestyle shift.
All these YOLO people, you live only once. All of these YOLO people come to me with a list of medication and complication. Some come with raised creatinine, and some come post angio also. So a lot of these YOLO people have to pay one day or the other. If I have to live once, I'm going to live healthy. I'm not going to make those medical industry rich. These people, what they're going to do is they will first make pharma and first make food company rich by eating all the junk food. And then there's a vehicle which takes them to pharma industry. Okay. So this is a quote from Anup Singh. The food industry takes you to is a vehicle which takes you to pharma industry. So it is up to them. If they want to spend a very poor life, it is their choice. And if they are believing in the concept of YOLO, then they better save a lot of money when they retire, because they are going to go and spend on this corporate hospital. These are the same guys who today you complain about corporate hospital charges, tomorrow are going to pay them heavily because they have enjoyed. You know what? These YOLO are like those people who are spending credit cards and they are not paying it on time. And one day they are going to pay that credit card with a lot of penalties. So this is my message to YOLO. If you want to enjoy, but please be ready to pay the price when time comes.
Yeah. In fact, the quality of life while on medicine of life when you've learned how to live a sustainable lifestyle is significantly different. And,
See, Aarti, I don't believe in this sustainable business. All these are all very foolish concept. Okay. For me, sustainable is something which keeps me very healthy. Sustainable diet, people come and tell me I want sustainable diet. What is sustainable diet? They won't eat any kachra they want. They won't eat any trash and still maintain low blood sugar without medication. That is not possible. Sustainable diet is the one diet which will keep you off medication. There is no other sustainable diet.
yes. So which being one of the main, dirty fuels, as I can to take your analogy further of fueling with three kinds of fuels. Then one is the dirty fuel of sugar. One is somewhat carbs as a fuel, and then the most efficient being fat. At Artinci, that's what we do. We have completely taken out sugar and from whatever products we make. So what you say resonates completely with what we do as a company and the products that we make. I end up eating our products every day for enjoying it for professional reasons, and it's a good profession to have if you ask. So in that sense, what you say completely resonates with what we are also approaching as products. For someone, another audience question that I have here is about, let's say that I have developed enough discipline to live like this about, say, 80% of the week. Then I'm hit by craving. How should I be able to manage that? Or how will I be able to resist temptation?
See, these things are not very easy for me to say. I can say something and it may not work. But if, first of all, people should become convinced that what is the correct food for them. But if people still think that they have a doubt, that they feel no, they have to enjoy life and they have to look at the other food, then it is going to be very difficult. One. Secondly, if someone enjoys sweets, then we can make low-carb sweets as well. I enjoy low-carb yogurt daily, sweetened yogurt with either stevia. So we have a lot of alternatives with us to take care of all this. So I always believe that cheating does not work. So there is no point in, I don't cheat at all. Deviation happens, let us understand. No cheating, deviation will happen. Cheating is when you have a low carb and high carb food in front of you and you're going for that is cheating. Deviation is when you're stuck in certain situation, you cannot have anything else. Okay, you can go and have, and then get back on the next day. So that deviation happens even with me. Cheating doesn't happen with me. Okay, and you can have all the substitutes today. Today, when Anup Singh started in 2014 and I started in 2015, 16, there were not much options. But today there are a lot of alternative options available. And whether it is cookies, biscuits, protein bars, on the sweets and all you make. So they're all good options, okay, which are available. And I think we can use this option all once in a while. Is all okay, no problem.
Yeah.
To take care of the craving.
In the past, that when you cheat, who are you cheating actually? You're not cheating a diet chart, you're cheating yourself. And so it's important to not call it cheating even. Mindfully, you make a choice to enjoy. And you choose a mindful, correct choice. And your lifestyle and choose the right products that help manage your lifestyle and to take your lifestyle one step further rather than derail yourself. Makes sense. Given you work in 15 countries, right, with clients from 15 countries, some early that you have seen in medical protocols across the world, India as well as across the world, that people can take their own tests and turn the situation around before it becomes a problem?
See, all these clients from abroad, they are all Indians. So when they approach local coaches, they are asked to eat bacon and beef, which our people will not eat. Wherever Indian goes, they are all vegetarians only, primarily. We may call them non-veg, they are not non-veg. They are only veg only once, non-veg only once a while. So primarily they are all vegetarians daily. So they need a culturally appropriate diet. Okay. Now, when I get clients from abroad, it is very difficult in the sense that to get a lab test done is practically difficult. They have to go to doctor and then get an approval, and then the approval will come as per what the insurance company dictates. So in India, when a client comes, we get the full spectrum lab test done, but there it is very difficult. Very often I have to make do with whatever I have. But adaptation of low carb is very easy abroad compared to India because a lot of good stuffs are available. You get nice low carb, high protein yogurt, you get avocados, you get a lot of nuts, and a lot of alternate stuffs are very, very available. Variety of cheeses and all is available, and very good pasture raised eggs. And about non-veg, yes, we're truly we get very good quality there. Now, there that cultural thing doesn't disturb them much. In India, what happens? The person sitting next to you will have 10 parathas, or the person sitting next to you will have huge tub of biryani. So there the issue is not there. So people are able to manage low carb in a very, very nice way. In fact, most of them don't need to prepare anything exhaustively for breakfast also. Most are available. In fact, there even these low carb wraps are also available, which we can use it as our own roti or chapati, and they are very good quality. They are truly low carb and good quality. So people abroad can do it very, very nicely and easily compared to India. And then there people don't retract each other. In India, what I have seen is if you do low carb, 10 experts will come and try to tell you that you are going to die of heart attack or kidney damage. There you don't have much of an issue. So I find that working with clients abroad is relatively easy. It is a challenge in terms of lab reports. So they have to wait for 3 months, 6 months, and then they will get it done, or they have to pay from their pocket, which is also very costly. So we have some limitation, but it is very easy for them to do. Sometimes it's a challenge for me to connect because I have to get up early morning and connect. I connect 7:30 in the morning or at evening or even late night, but that's okay for me. So there would be some challenges, but I find that people abroad are able to do much more easily than India. In India, we have this crab mentality. People will not allow you to do low carb. Their own family members will scuttle. They may be good, they may be having good intention, but they have a crab mentality in India.
Yeah. Because we are so social and there are so many people that we are all. Yeah, makes sense. I'm switching tracks to the metabolic health conference that you've co-founded. You've run for 2 years in its third year coming up in Feb 25. You had researchers from the world who have come to share their expertise in these. What are some top 3 insights that have stayed and struck from these 2 conferences that you described?
Yeah. So back in 2017, again, me, Anup Singh, Arun Kumar, we were all thinking of, hosting a conference. So that time we thought how we'll do, because it will require a lot of logistics and money to host, because that time we could only think of physical hosting. Then what happens is during the lockdown and all, we learn how to do virtual conference. Okay, and then that idea was there in the head, but then since I was also employed, so we were just kept it in the back burner. So once I left my pharma job, I immediately jumped upon hosting this conference. So I told Anup, okay, we will go ahead and do whatever we dreamt in 2017. We'll do it again. Now we will do it now. And then the journey began, and then we invited. See, me and Anup, we were there in Twitter for quite long, and there all the top low carb experts are there. So they knew there were only 2 persons in India who were interested in low carb, Anup Singh and me. So because of that, we had a lot of very, very strong connects with all the international thought leaders. So you name them, all those big guns were there. So it's Professor Noakes, Eric Westman, or David Unwin, or Sean Baker, or Ken Berry, you name them. There were quite a lot. We invited all of them. The idea of doing this conference is, and mind you that we kept this conference free of cost for everyone to watch, live streaming as well as in our YouTube. Idea is to inform people, India, that low carb is an option for diabetes, for weight loss, and for all the other metabolic syndrome. And this was practiced by doctors across the globe. So our first theme was low carb across the globe. So we invited around more than 15 countries to come and participate. So some doctors came and spoke there. In our country, people believe only doctors. They will not believe coaches. So we invited only doctors to come and speak. So that was the first conference. It went well. We did 12 hours per day non-stop for 3 days. It's a record no one has achieved across the globe, in the low carb world at least. Non-stop, not even a tea break. And then the second conference was something on the ketogenic spectrum, in the mental health, neurological health, cancer, including diabetes, the weight loss and all, and even the carnivore. So we took up the carnivore aspect in the first and second one also. So even the second one did well. In India, there is a terrible fear of ketogenic diet. We think that ketogenic diet means kidney fail and heart fail. This is a standard thing. But now, no. Studies have come from leading institute like Stanford and even from Harvard, that ketogenic diet is very useful in mental health disorder, in neurological disorder, in advanced cancer, glioblastoma, cancers also it is very, very useful. When you apply ketogenic diet in addition to the normal therapy which is going on, radiation and chemo and all. Even in CKD, now it is proven that ketogenic diet is useful even in CKD patients. So everything which we thought is just being blasted away. And we did these 2 conferences free of cost, so people can come and know that what we are doing is a genuine work. And people should have an option to know. Otherwise, they will never know this. There is no one to do this. The medical fraternity never favors low carb or ketogenic diet. They will always speak against this. So it was us. It was Anup, me, and others. Anup Kumar, Arun Kumar, and then Ira, and then we all came together, and then we did all this conference very well. Now we are doing the third conference. So this will be very interesting. It's on addiction, sugar addiction, seed oil. Seed oil is a very big contentious issue. Now, seed oil is something which is destroying this country because of high usage of the sunflower, safflower, soybean oil and all. So the focus is going to be on addiction, seed oils, and even addiction to grains will be addressed. Plus, of course, metabolic syndrome, diabetes and all we'll do. Even the carnivore spectrum we are going to do again. So the third conference will inform people that yes, this is a viable option. Again, we have invited a lot of doctors, researchers, and leading thought leaders who have done a lot of work on this. And everything is backed up by research. So it is not that we are telling something. We are backing up by research. So we are looking forward for the third conference in February 14, 15, 16. Again, February 14 is going to be one special day for us, which we'll reveal later.
Yeah. I think that you mentioned all the very serious concerns like cancer, and mentioned mental health improving as a result of going keto. And I think that's a topic which is going to be very interesting for another day. Perhaps in December we will cover, along with World Disability, we will cover how that can impact mental health specifically. So that's great. I guess one last question before we call it a day is what we spoke about family pressures of dealing with this lifestyle in such a social country as ours, where everyone has an opinion on what the other guy and his it looks like. What would you provide as an advice for managing social?
Managing, can you repeat? Managing social? Can you repeat? Yeah,
I was asking about social and the pressures of managing, say, weddings, parties.
Okay. Okay. See, all these things, let us understand, is going to be difficult. It is not easy. Okay, so you have to only make, I always tell my clients to make healthy choices. When they go, what is the healthy choice there is what you have to do. Maybe, you eat more of vegetables and all, whatever protein stuff you want, and carbohydrates you have as less as possible. So we have to make little healthy choices. And also, maybe eat something and go. Eat some protein and go so that you don't feel hungry. So these are the few things, which we advise. Otherwise, it is very difficult, let us understand. So in this country with lot of marriage functions and all parties, it is not very easy to do low carb. So I always say that. But there are people who are convinced. I had clients who take their own tiffin box when they go to some function. They go and eat the stuff there. So they are so rigid. So I have one doctor client who takes tiffin box wherever he goes in social function. He will not eat those food. But now they also know what he wants. So they will call and ask him what you're going to eat. See, if you give yourself away, then they will ask you to eat carbohydrate. But if you say, no, I'm not going to eat this, please make this arrangement, people will make arrangement for that. It happens to me also. In many of the places where I go now, they make arrangement for whatever I want to eat. They keep proteins for me. So it all depends upon, our own intensity to follow the diet. If we are weak, then we cannot succeed. You have to be very strong-willed. Because in this country, everyone will tell your family, the next door doctor, the dietitians, even your maid, everyone is an expert. So they will tell not to follow this. So you will have to be very, 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 very strict with your own diet. And now, Aarti, let me tell you, in these 2 years, okay, even many doctors have consulted me for their own diabetes or weight loss or mental health or hypertension also. As more than 30 doctors have consulted me for their own. So these doctors, fortunately, were very open-minded. They were ready to accept that they don't have. They told me that, please don't take us like doctor. Take us like your normal client and teach us how to do. And I was so humbled by listening to them. They told that we will accept you as your guru and then we will do. So more than 30 doctors have enrolled and many of them got success in reducing their blood sugars, medications, reversing the diabetes. And in fact, I have some 4 or 5 doctors also who sends me clients also, because they are convinced that low carb is the way to go. So Aarti, what you're also doing is something, you're also doing something excellent by providing an alternate options for people, which was not there earlier, which was not there 5-6 years back. So I think it's all a win-win situation, and I suggest to everyone. And today the World Diabetes Day, let me tell you, today you are going to hear all sort of advices. You will open the leading newspaper and you will see a lot of doctors telling that, okay, you follow diet, exercise, you take medication, you sleep well. You will see dietitians coming and recommending all those millets and all, recommending 8 meals a day. Let me tell you, nothing is going to work. In this occasion of World Diabetes Day 2020, let me tell you, please evaluate, please do a lot of research on low carbohydrate nutrition. Please visit www.dlife.in and get to know more about low carb. And if someone wants to learn more about low carb and practice as the coach, then I think they should go for D-Life diploma course. There is nothing best than this. And today everything is option, everything is open. It's totally online. You can sit in your home and do. We don't require any investment except spending on that diploma. You require a laptop, you require internet, that's all, and you require electricity. You can sit in any corner and you can do this job. So I'm suggesting that in 2024 World Diabetes Day, please go ahead and evaluate low carb as the option for diabetes and start reducing medication and reverse your diabetes. Yeah.
That makes sense. So one audience question that just came in, which was the most misconception about diabetes, that you personally like to go out and change. If you were given an opportunity every single day and you do that, but one or two stand out in your mind that people must know more about.
Can you repeat the question? Repeat.
One, misconceptions around that.
Misconception.
We wish more people knew more about.
First misconception is carbohydrates are not essential. Please stop eating tons of carbohydrate and please eat more protein. Protein will not damage your kidneys. In fact, a recent research in 2024 has shown that those who are on a higher protein diet, actually the morbidity is less. In fact, even in CKD patients, those on higher protein were faring well than those on lower protein. So go low carb and go high protein, and then you will succeed.
Got it. That and wraps for a really excellent and insightful session. Thank you, Shashi, for your time. And you were so to the point with all your responses that everyone has taken away a very useful template to go back and think about. As you rightly said, changes do not come easy, but they are most rewarding when they happen because they are very long-term in nature, in effects that one has. So thank you for the gift of your time, Shashi, on the World Diabetes Day, and wish that you are able to impact so many more lives with your work. And let's stay in touch, and let's have you back on this channel for more insights in the future. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you. Thank you, Aarti, for inviting me, and thank you, Artinci, again for this session. And I think India needs more and more session on awareness of low carb diet as a very safe option for every metabolic syndrome, not restricted to one. So it is a
time.
spectrum of low carb or ketogenic or carnivore. You can adopt any one of this to get things into remission. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. I agree with you, and I will do what I can to make this happen. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.